between America and China. It's power struggle. That's my Uncle Kun, my Auntie Three's husband. I'm having lunch with his family in a restaurant in China. America supports all China's neighboring countries to dispute even a tiny island with China. America spends so much in military, and China has to keep up. The century-long humiliation dating back to the Opium War was because of China's weak military. The West robbed us and sliced up our nation like a piece of cake. Never again. You are Chinese and will always be Chinese. The environment? I heard many years ago the environment was very bad in the US too. It's part of the cost of progress, right? If you want to talk about carbon emission, let's talk about carbon emissions per person. Xiaojuan, let me ask you, is a Chinese equal to an American as a human being? Let's not talk about politics. That's my Auntie Three, my mother's youngest sister. When Grandpa asked Auntie Three to quit school when she was 12 to help the family, my mother begged my grandpa to let Auntie Three stay in school, and she would cover Auntie Three's share of the house chores. Xiaojuan, your mama supported me going to school when I was young. I'm grateful, and will always be. We all had a hard life. Now I want to enjoy my life. Why is the service so slow today? Hey, waitress, we want to order steak. That's what Americans eat, right, Xiaojuan? 小娟姐姐啊, I read a story about an American woman who put umbrellas outside for strangers during rainy days. Are Americans really so kind to strangers? That's my cousin Lei. America. Why are so many Chinese fascinated by America? 15 years ago, when Pizza Hut first opened in Nanjing, where I went to college, people lined up 1 block long outside to get in. The nearby McDonald's was the most popular dating place for college students. In the Hollywood movies we saw, America seemed to be a land of freedom and opportunities, and going to America alone meant higher success and greater wealth. I wasn't that interested in my major, preventive medicine, but I immersed myself in everything American. I listened to the classic American movies and mimicked it to practice English. Red, where are you going? I'm going back to Charleston, back where I belong. Please take me with you. No, I'm through with everything here. I want peace. Do you know what I'm talking about? No, I only know that I love you. That's your misfortune. Red, if you go, where shall I go? What should I do? Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. That's my friend Ding Lei. Ding Lei, I finished Friends Season 1. Titanic? Yes, I'd love to see it. Dinner? How about Pizza Hut? Pizza Hut is considered a fancy restaurant in China. Right, the long line. Okay, I will see you at the McDonald's on Hanzhong Road. On May 8, 1999, During the NATO bombing of Yugoslavia, 5 guided US bombs hit the Chinese embassy in Belgrade, killing 3 Chinese reporters and injuring over 20 staff. College students across China took to the street to protest against the bombing. They were shouting, "Down with the NATO violence! Down with American imperialism! Safeguard China's sovereignty!" I joined them. We stopped at the McDonald's on Hanzhong Road. 抗议北约暴行，反对美帝国主义，捍卫中国主权。After finishing my undergraduate, I disliked my major so much that I decided to study 3 more years to earn my master's degree. Every morning, I dragged myself to the lab to kill mice, to test some environmental toxin on their reproductive systems. After 1 month, I couldn't cut open another mouse anymore. There must be something more to life than mouse castration. 又是一个周末，空虚再度袭来。活着的意义何在？我人生的港口又在哪儿？ It's another weekend. Emptiness again swallows me in. What's the meaning of my life? Where is my harbor? 13 years ago, I came to the US. Ma, I'm in America now. America. Sorry, I didn't tell you before I left. I didn't want you to worry. Ma, I can't talk too loud. It's midnight here. My roommates are sleeping. I'll call you next week. Ma, what were you thinking? She has been crying every day the last week. I was not kidnapped. I told you I had to talk quietly so my roommates wouldn't be waken up. Why didn't you believe me, Ma? I miss you too, Ma. Okay, I'll wait. Ah, the firecrackers are very loud. I'm sure they're scaring away all the bad people in America. Ma, now you don't need to worry about me anymore, right? The shooting? Yeah, 30 people died. Ma, I'm safe. That's over 2,000 miles away. We don't even need to lock the door here. I live in Marin County, in a town whose name is hard to pronounce, San Anselmo. The air is fresh. The sky is blue. Flowers are everywhere. Foreigners are everywhere. They all look alike. Big noses and unslanted eyes. Cheese makes me constipated. I found the solution. Coffee gives me diarrhea. But that's not my only issue. I'm at Drake's Bay overlooking the massive blue ocean and the white waves crashing into the giant black rocks. Wow, what a parasite! Can you please tell my brother Steve I'm going to the seminary to meditate? Yes, Steve, your brother, she went to cemetery to medicate. Xiao, it's so lovely having you over and staying with us. Thank you for your hostility. Your condom is very lovely. In the summer, before I started the MBA program at San Francisco State, I met a group of Chinese people working in a restaurant. Ping, one of the waiters, later became a friend. Ping, when did you come to America? What did you do before? Oh, I came to America 20 years ago, when I was a sophomore in Tsinghua University. Wow, Tsinghua University! You must be an excellent student. I scored the highest on the National College Entrance Exam in Fujian Province. I came to the University of Chicago and got my PhD in nuclear physics. Then I came to California and worked in Lawrence Livermore Labs. Every day, a helicopter took us down to the lab. After the Cold War, we were given the option to leave with a severance check. So I left. For a long time, I couldn't find any work with a PhD in nuclear physics. So I started working in restaurants. Jack, 30 years ago, taught in a university in Taiwan and was a promising young politician in the Nationalist Party. Stephen was a senior secretary for the governor of Fujian Province. Linda was a professional ballerina from Shanghai. Xiaojuan, you don't know how many Chinese crouching tigers and hidden dragons are working in restaurants in America. But this is America. I believe if I work hard, I can achieve whatever I want to achieve. One night near midnight, I received a call from Ping. Hello, Ping? 20 years. I haven't gone back to China for 20 years. I couldn't go back because I was blacklisted by Chinese government for my support of the students' democratic movement in Tiananmen Square in 1989. During those blacklisted years, my father died. Then my mother died. I'm the only son, and I couldn't be by their deathbeds. I'm a terrible son. I'm no longer blacklisted. But what's the point of going back now? Xiaojuan, do you know what keeps me awake at the night? 20 years ago, I left home. That day, I said goodbye to my parents and walked out of my childhood home. I say to myself, do not look back, just keep walking. So I kept walking and walking until I had to turn at the intersection, and I couldn't help looking back to see my childhood home one more time. And I saw my mother. She looked so tiny, but was still waving to me in the distance. The last image of my mother waving to me in the distance is what keeps me awake every night. That night, I wept during the call and afterwards. Ping's story hit the core of me. Ma, I got a job from a big company. It has offices in 114 countries. Yes, you know, the interview took all day today. Ma, you won't believe this. They gave me the offer right after the interview. Yes. No, I will start working next year when I graduate. Ma, I will buy you and Baba a new house. After reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich, the essays of Warren Buffett, I write down my goals. I want to have $20 million when I turn 40. I want to travel the world when I'm young. I want to be free, financially and spiritually. I'm a hedge fund auditor in the San Francisco financial district. Hedge funds, not the mutual funds. Mutual funds are for the general public, the 99%. Hedge funds are for the wealthy people. My job is to make sure wealthy people's money is in good hands. I live in an apartment near work in the financial district. Every morning I walk to work. Every evening I go back home and study the CPA exams, Certified Public Accountant. I'm so voting for Obama. If he can make it all the way to the White House, then I should believe nothing can stop me from climbing to the top of this firm. That's my coworker, Tariq. He's 1 year ahead of me. His parents were from Pakistan. I hear him. I've been listening to Obama's audiobook, The Audacity of Hope, Thoughts on Reclaiming the American Dreams. His words made me cry. Then Obama won. Then I passed the CPA exams, and the firm gave me a bonus for $5,000. I went to Europe for 5 weeks by myself. On the day when I returned from Europe, I flew to New York City to join my coworkers for a new client there. At Times Square, I looked at the big neon signs of my company's name for a long time. I thought of my mother. My mother loved school. As a child, one time her teacher, Miss Wan, lost her voice, and she picked my mother to help teach the class. Standing in front of the class, my mother was so proud. After school, she couldn't wait to go home to tell her parents. 没有花香，没有树干，我是一棵无人知道的小草，从不寂寞，从不烦恼。你看我的伙伴遍及天涯海角。Ma, I'm home. Ma, you won't believe what happened in school today. Miss Wan lost her voice, and she picked me to teach the class. Bolan, your Baba is in the living room. He needs to talk to you. Baba is home. Baba, Baba. Ba, today Miss Wan asked me to help teach the class. Ba, I know what I want to do when I grow up. I want to be a teacher like you. Bolan, your mama needs help at home. Your brother Bochi fell and hurt his head. Your mama cannot keep up with the house chores and the 4 kids at the same time. I know, Baba, I will help her more. You are a good kid, the oldest. Baba needs you to stay home to help carry some family responsibilities. Staying home, but I need to go to school. I want to learn to read. What's the point for a girl to learn to read? We don't even have enough to eat. From tomorrow, you will stay home. Forget about school. Pa, please let me stay in school. I can get up early to sweep the floor, feed the pigs, and fill up the water tank before going to school. Anything I can do it, Pa. Please let me stay in school. Pa, I want to learn to read. 我要读书 I want to read. Ma, then what happened? Did you not go to school the next day? I stayed in bed the next day. Then the next. And the next. On the fourth day, I got up, swept the floor, fed the pigs, and then carried 2 water barrels to the river. I never went back to school again. Xiaojuan, remember, the only thing in the whole world that you need to worry about is studying. I will do anything to keep you in school, even if I had to climb the mountain that's sharp as a knife, or jump into the sea that's full of fire. Growing up, I never touched the broom or washed a single dish. Mother did everything. Every day, rain or shine, she would give us a bicycle ride to the fertilizer factory to catch the bus to school, the best school in town, with me sitting in the front on the crossbar, my brother in the back, and her riding in the middle. The top of my head felt warm when Mama breathed out, and cold when she breathed in. When I was in the 6th grade, my Baba lost his job and became sick. Mama had become the sole breadwinner in our family. She worked in polluted factories, farmed, scavenged, even sold her own blood. Her hands were covered with the calluses and cuts. I remember she cried several times for being insulted by some remote relatives, or when she couldn't get help to get irrigation water into our rice field. Whenever Mother came home very late after dark, I would stand outside the house waiting in tears, imagining all the possible bad things that could happen to my mother. I say to myself, when I grow up, I would make a lot of money so Mama would not have to work so hard. $20 million. I still have 19,990,000 to go. Yes, this is my dream job. But I realize I have a small problem. I don't give a shit about what I do. I'm in the HR office. The left side of my right wrist has been really hurt for several days. I think I need a different mouse. Are you sure it's work-related? You might have genetic bone disease. The firm did offer me workers' comp, and I'm taking some time off. But every night, life seems drained out of me. I hear the neighbors' laughter coming out of their kitchen window. Have they found what makes them happy? I begin to read Dale Carnegie's self-help book, How to Start Living, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. Living. I don't really know what I would enjoy doing, what kind of work I would enjoy. I don't have a hobby. I don't read literature, don't sing, don't play music. Stop drawing at 10. I feel embarrassed to dance. From elementary school to high school, the sole focus of my life had been studying, 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 grades, grades, grades. 两眼一睁，开始竞争，不苦不累，高中无畏，不拼不搏，一身白活。That's my high school teacher, Tom. Competition starts the moment you open your eyes. Without bitterness and exhaustion, high school would be boring. Without struggling and fighting, life would be pointless. If you are still breathing, study until you can't breathe. If you can handle this, handle it. If you can't handle this, handle it. With the battlefield behind, with the battlefield ahead, the river behind, go forward with no regrets. Everything I do is for you, your future. 高考 is like a race of 10,000 soldiers on horses racing to cross a narrow single log bridge. Anyone ahead of you is your competitor, competing for that only opportunity to change your destiny. I studied in the best boarding high school in our county with a single goal in mind, scoring as high as I could on the National College Entrance Exam, 高考. The score of 高考 was the only thing that would determine my destiny. Making jeans in a factory or going to college. Every morning, we got up at 5:30 a.m. after the whistle. Then we would run 3 laps around the playground. Then breakfast, then class after class after class after class. Then lunch, then noon break, then class after class after class. Then the daily exam. Then we had 1 hour playing on the playground. Then dinner, then evening self-studying session until 9 p.m. and lights out in all dorms at 10. Sunday afternoons were the only free time we had. I struggled with this prison-like life. I wrote in my diary, the result of the monthly exams had just come out. My grades are humiliating. My pride has all gone down the drain. Mama is afraid of heights, but she works on unprotected scaffolding to pay for my schooling. The other day, she almost fell off the scaffolding. Mama, can you love me less so I can care less? Your love is killing me. Today, I yelled at Baba when he visited me and brought me my favorite dishes Mama made. I asked him not to come to my school again. It's an insult to accept their love when I don't do well on the exams. I wish I could fly away, far, far away like a bird, but my wings are not yet strong. Last night I had a dream. I tore up all the textbooks and threw them into the air. The paper fell down from the sky like a giant snowflakes. Hi, I am Xiaojuan Shu. I'm a Gaokao survivor. Now, I'm living and working in San Francisco, wondering what could be my passion. Wouldn't it be wonderful that there's something in life that I would love to do, and every day I just can't wait to get up to do that very thing, right? Is there a career path for becoming one's true self? A friend lent me a book, Beachcombing at the Miramar by Richard Bolt. The writer wrote, I recall my former self, a child. I pushed so far down into the base of my being after I became a man that I forgot he was there. Now, all these years later, I realize how much I miss him, how much I want him back. What's that child in me? I miss my mother's cooking. In college, when I told my mother what day I would come home, and she would get up really early that day to make my favorite dishes and then walk to the main road to wait for my bus. Ma, oh, my daughter, you look very nice. I came here 2 hours earlier. So what if the driver drove faster today? No. It's a long bus ride. Did you get car sick? Ma, you don't need to carry it. You can roll it. Just push the button and get the handle out. Yes, this is my daughter. She just came back from Nanjing. She's studying in Nanjing Medical University. Yes. Oh, this is her suitcase. Ma, I don't like you talking about me in front of me. It's embarrassing. Pa, I'm home. Ma, it's so dark in the house. Why not use a brighter light bulb? When you and your brother are not home, we don't need much light. You must be hungry. Sit by the table. I will bring you your favorite soup. Ma, have you washed your hands? Wash them again. I can still see the black stuff in your fingernails. Ma, look at your thumb that dipped in the soup. And stop talking. Your spit got into my soup. Ara, give Mama pause. A hug? That's not very Chinese. Ma, put me down. I'm not a kid anymore. 你不必要的 My precious daughter, you are heavy now. Someday, Mama will not be able to lift you. My mother is very proud that I have this job in San Francisco. Although she has no idea what a CPA or hedge fund is. Oh, my daughter, She works in America for a very big company. If I leave this job, how can I help my parents buy a house? What would my mother think? What would my Chinese relatives think? We have to admit, Americans are much more civilized than Chinese. My friend went to Washington, D.C., and he couldn't believe you can check out your groceries yourself. Self-checkout in China, nobody would pay. Xiaojuan 姐姐, can you help me buy a Coach wallet? The one I like costs only $250 in America, half of the price in Shanghai. Money is what counts now. Xiaojuan, did you hear the story? A rich Chinese woman went shopping in Italy. At a Gucci store, the clerk asked her not to smoke. And the Chinese woman said, "Go get your manager. If I'm allowed to smoke here, I will buy 20 Gucci bags." A minute later, the store manager came out with an ashtray and served the Chinese woman tea while she smoked. Xiaojuan, now you work in America and must make good money, but your mama still goes to the market every day to sell vegetables. I don't understand. How much money do you make in America? Are you seeing anyone? Without a money-making job and a husband, I would feel like a failure in front of my Chinese relatives. And the hardest thing would be bringing shame to my mother. If I quit this job, how am I going to tell my mother? Ma, I want to come home. Oh, really? When? Oh, Mama misses you so much. Every time when someone calls Mama in the street, I always look. They all sound like you. Ma, I don't like my job. We work long hours and then my wrist hurts. Oh, no. That doesn't sound like a good job for you. Ma, I want to quit this job. Oh, then you can come back to work in Shanghai. Then you won't be so far from Mama. Oh, Ma, I don't know what I want to do yet. I'm sitting in my old bed with legs under the covers in my old bedroom. My legs are being warmed by the hot water bottle Mother had put under the covers before I came to bed. No heat. Rainwater is trickling down from leaking window. The drops of the rainwater leaking through the kitchen roof are creating a melody in the water basins that Mother placed on the kitchen floor. I've been back to China for 2 weeks now, and I begin to see more clearly the reality at home. My mother still goes to the market on her bike from 5 to 5 to sell vegetables and eggs. And my father has had Parkinson's disease for over 15 years. With heavy medication, he's losing his mobility slowly. Mice are running errands in the roof. Hey, mice, be quiet. I'm having a moment here. Okay, I owe you an apology. I killed your white cousins in college. But your electronic cousin in America almost killed my wrist. Should we just call it even? I want to help Mama, but I feel helpless myself. I felt humiliated yesterday when she asked me, now you don't work, do you need money? Shouldn't I be the one who gives her money? Ada, is the hot water bottle still warm? Tomorrow I'm not going to the market. Tomorrow morning, sleep as long as you want. I will bring you breakfast in bed. The yam and the red date soup and the veggie buns you like. Ma, I don't need you to worry about me. Worry about your own life. I want 2 veggie buns. Ma, can you ever learn to enjoy life like a normal human being? How many times have I told you, when you grow old, if I have a bite to eat, you will have a bite. It's my responsibility to take care of you. Why do you still go to the market every day? How many years have you worn that same ugly coat? Do you know what other people would think of you? Look at your face in the mirror. You look like a beggar. Nobody will respect you. Don't you have dignity, Mama? I don't know how to read, but I do have dignity. I go to the market because I like it. People respect me there. I have a community. The hardest time in my life has passed, and I am enjoying life. Mama wants to tell you, I will support you doing whatever you want to do as long as you are happy. We don't need a lot of money. At the end, when I'm really, really old, I would be so happy if you would bathe me, comb my hair, cut my nails, and talk to me. Tell me all the places you have been to and the good life you are living. That night, I cried all night and I regretted every single word that I blurted out to Mother. At my old home, I found the diary I wrote when I was 14. 人生就像是无边无际的大海，我就是大海中的一叶小舟。Life is like a voyage. No seashore is in sight. I'm a little boat floating in a massive ocean. I don't know where my harbor is, but whatever underneath me will lead me forward. Maybe there will be big storms, but that's nothing to be afraid of. Let the storms come stronger, even if I might be capsized under the sea. Even when that happens, my wreckage will still be washed to the harbor that I can call home. With my mother's support, I'm ready to start over in this life. I want to know who I truly am, like peeling an onion, one layer at a time. I'm back to the Bay Area. In a dance class, I carefully copy the teacher's each move. Near the end of the semester, our dance teacher says, "The essence of a dance is the affirmation of freedom and the celebration of life. Let go of your thoughts and feel your movements. And see where your body leads you. Don't make it, let it. Like a bird flies and a fish swims. Let my body lead me." How? Shame that I thought had left me creeps back into my bones, paralyzing my entire body. I wish there were a crack in the ground for me to hide in. But look at her, one of my classmates, a blue-haired woman. She's smiling with her eyes closed. She is the movement. The movement is her. I want that. I want that. Shame. The big shame I had as I grew up was being a poor peasant's daughter. As I grew older, I didn't want to hold my mother's calloused hand. In college, one time when I visited home, in a crowded store, mother reached for my hand. I instantly pulled away, embarrassed. All my life, I study and I work hard so I don't have to feel inferior to others. But shame continues to haunt me. I want to dance the shame away. Shame of myself. No more shame of my mother. Mother. Ma, how is it at home? Oh, your brother and sister-in-law recently asked me to move in with them and cook for them and take care of your nephew, Wei Wei. So every day, I take 3 round trips on my bike carrying Wei Wei to his school. Oh, the extra trip is to take him home for lunch. Oh, he doesn't want to stay home for lunch like all other kids. But he comes home just to play video games. Last week he didn't do well on the exam. Your sister-in-law said I should have been more strict with him. But Wei Wei doesn't listen to me. Oh, your Baba's Parkinson's disease is getting worse. He keeps falling down. A lot of bleeding. The old wound on his knees are just about to get better. He falls again. Oh, your grandpa was in hospital again last week. I was there feeding him his favorite soup that I made for a week in the hospital. And this weekend I'm going back to take care of him again. Xiaojuan, I'm tired. I want freedom. Sometimes I imagine myself packing up a suitcase and going somewhere like you do. You are the only one whom I can really talk to. Oh, I've been talking about myself the whole time. How are you doing in America? Fine, Ma. I'm doing fine. Guilt and the powerlessness is so heavy in my chest. Am I selfish? Trying to focus on finding freedom and meaning for myself. What's that true self that I'm trying so hard to find? How could I leave my mother drowning in her never-ending family responsibilities, one Pacific Ocean away? Doubt. Sometimes, some nights it feels like I just got off a midnight train. I'm standing on the empty platform in the dark, watching my seat being taken by someone who just got on board, and the train moving and disappearing into the night without me. It's quiet. It's cold. It's dark. 一闪一闪亮晶晶，满天都是小星星，高高挂在天空中，好像宝石放光芒。Then the traveler in the dark thanks you for your tiny spark. I'm in Venice again, and instantly feel calm by water. I buy a weekly pass, get on any boat, anytime, and get off anywhere. I sit on the edges of the canal, legs dangling, watching the flowing water and the passing boats. No rushing to go anywhere or do anything. One question grips me. What is that thing that will make me happy? What is it? I get back on the boat, all the way to the last stop, another island. I rent a bike. I don't know where I am. In fact, I intentionally get lost by writing off the map that came with the bike. I ride on the bumpy dirt road, walk into a backyard, and ask if I can use their toilet. Afterwards, they invite me to drink their homemade wine and eat their homemade everything. They speak no English, and I speak no Italian. But we have such a great time that we don't want to say goodbye. Our laughter bounces off the large zucchinis, soars through the vineyard, and it lingers under the burned sky. I've been missing such a simple joy in life. The time to be happy is now. The place to be happy is here. The way to be happy is to make someone happy. We'll have love right here. I'm at a 10-day silent meditation retreat. No speaking, no writing, no reading, no physical contact, not even eye contact with fellow meditators. On the last day, I walk out of the meditation hall with the tears on my face. Born a peasant's daughter in China, I grew up feeling ashamed of my mother, who raised me and supported my education with every hard-earned penny. How ungrateful. With everything that I'm gifted, I'm able to do so many things for others. But I don't respect my own gifts, often feeling ashamed and inadequate. How ungrateful. Each and every day, I have a roof over my head, food nurturing my body, and a friendship nourishing my soul, but I still want more. How ungrateful. My fellow humans, You have contributed to my life in the visible or invisible ways. Who built this bookstore? Who are you in the audience supporting diverse stories? Who worked so hard to make this event happen? But sometimes I'm so disconnected that my heart is not capable of opening wide to you. How ungrateful. The earth, wind, rivers, the mountains, the animals, I use you for my needs and take you all for granted. How ungrateful. The tears on my face at the end of the retreat are not tears of sadness, but tears of gratitude. I am grateful. I'm grateful for having such a loving and strong mother. I'm grateful for all my younger selves who carried me all the way to where I am, here and now. I'm grateful for all my families, teachers, friends, and strangers who had supported me in loving or challenging ways. I'm ready to receive the torch and run forward in this life. Make America, no, the world, grateful again. I'm in a 2-week intensive training to get my hands dirty in the soil and to plant some seeds. For the first time, I feel such a reverence for my mother who knows how to grow food on the land. All her life, she has been planting seeds and growing food to feed our family. I'm fasting in the Mojave Desert on a vision quest for 4 days and 4 nights, surrounded by rocks, juniper trees, and cholla cactuses, and watching birds, rabbits, chipmunks, and lizards running around. It's scorching during the day and freezing at night. I sleep on a big flat rock under the stars at night and rest under a juniper tree during the day. My past plays like a movie in my mind, comes and goes. At dawn, I wake up to the dissipating morning mist and the rising sun moving across the sky. At dawn, I shake the rattle as the sunset gives the stage to twinkling stars. I feel so small and so vast at the same time. The lifetime pressure of wanting to be somebody and do something has dissipated in the desert. But I have an urge to create and to serve. Then unexpectedly, food enters my mind. It's not because I'm fasting, but I have an urge to express myself through food. I can't stop imagining all the dishes that I can possibly make and share with others. Isn't that what my mother has been doing all her life? I visit my family in China every other year. Mother always saves in the freezer the food I have missed while I'm gone. Like fava beans from spring and water chestnuts from last fall. 这是全年你存的了吗？你确定？ Oh, I forgot about those. The dumplings from the last New Year's dinner. You were the only one who wasn't home. I've been waiting for you to come home to eat them. If you eat them, it'll be like you never left. Last year, I dropped everything in the US and lived in China for 5 months. I landed in Shanghai and noticed Starbucks popped up at almost every street corner. They seem to do a very good job teaching a tea drinking culture to fall in love with coffee. I took the bus to my hometown, 4 hours northwest of Shanghai, at a vegan restaurant. Yes, there are vegan restaurants in China. When I heard there was a free event, the Chinese traditional traditional cultural forum, about to happen in the neighboring city, I applied to volunteer. I met the forum. 欢迎回家. I want to sign up to get on stage with my mother. A woman, maybe in her late 50s, talks to me. I reply, oh, not yet. Let's wait for the announcement. A minute later, she comes again. Can I sign up now? I will let you know, don't worry. Soon, she comes back again. You know, I'm a very good daughter-in-law, and I take very good care of my father-in-law and my mother-in-law. But I have been resenting my own mother all my life. I cannot forgive her for giving me away when I was little. So every time when I see my mother, I scold her with harsh words. Every time. But today, I want to repair that and say sorry to my mother. When the families are invited to come on stage, the woman talked to me earlier, carries her disabled mother in her arms all the way to the stage and put her down gently in a chair. The young members of each family kneel down and bow. It's repeated 3 times. Then the volunteers bring hot water in water basins to the stage for each family. The young ones kneel down again to untie the shoelaces of the elders. And wash their feet. The entire auditorium is quiet. And all of the families begin to weep. And then they hug. As the tears pour out of my eyes, I look around. A well-dressed middle-aged man is drying his eyes. There's hardly a dry eye in the auditorium. I'm home with my parents at dinner table. Baba, Mama, sorry for being such an ungrateful daughter for all these years. Baba, I'm sorry that I yelled at you when you visited me in my boarding high school. Sorry, Mama, for taking it granted for so many things that you did for me. The shoes and clothing you made by hand, the meals you cooked, and the bicycle rides you gave me. Sorry for disrespecting you. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Mama, for being my parents and raising me. Never before have my family wept together. Before bed, I prepare hot water as my parents sit facing each other. I place the water basin between them. And I untie my Baba's shoelaces. But my mama, oh, Nipo Beata, you're such a good daughter, you don't need to do this. No, Mama's hands are ugly and calloused. The calluses on my mother's hand gives me strength.没有花香，没有树根，我是一棵无人知道的小草，从不寂寞，从不烦恼。你看我的花瓣遍及天涯海角。Ma, I'm home.